Looks like we may be live. We have welcome community, Soldiers of Self-Mastery community. We're having a little bit of a technical difficulty today, but we are live. We're broadcasting. I am Coach Santos here. We are Coach Jim and I. This is broadcast number 332. Distractions. That's the topic of this and viral today. It looks like Coach Jim is with us. I'm having a little bit of a difficulty because of the lighting in my little makeshift studio office, if you will. But I think we'll work with it the way it is, because if I start messing around with this thing, it might just distort the whole thing. So I do want to welcome. I would like to welcome everyone that's on board here to your hour of power. Once again, this is an environment for healing. It's a place for P.N.G.Z, permanent no gambling zone. It's a place for focus. It's a place for prosperity. Now, is there anyone here? And I'm going to give Jim a chance to speak here in a moment. Again, Coach Jim from Tucson, Arizona. I'm Santos here out of Stockton, California. Anybody perfect in here? Anybody perfect? Because if you are, you're at the wrong place. You're at the wrong place. So, as I said, this is an environment where we want to create healing. We want to create prosperity. We want to create. I was thinking about this earlier. And again, this is number 332. Topic today is going to be on distractions. We have a proverb. We have a 30-minute interlude. And then we have a call to action. I was thinking, we come together for an hour. At least those of us that are present, we're here to participate. Just like it kind of reminds me of kindergarten. We came together. There was an environment of creativity. Some children would kind of argue a little bit, maybe fight, but it was a playful environment, a creative environment. And we've lost that as adults. We've lost that, and we need to get back because we're distracted. And that's why we are in a lot of the situations that we're in. I'll tell you what, I'll be the first one to say I'm beginning to notice a lot of distractions that are around me that I don't need in my life. And I'll be working into the new year. So that's my introduction. Once again, if you feel you're distracted, man, you're at the right place. Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Jim, welcome.
Hi, good evening, Santos. Hope you're doing well in California.
Yeah, enjoying man, I'm stoked. We're getting some rain out here, man. I get pumped. Super. I got to keep it down here a little bit. Make sure yeah. How's Tucson?
Tucson's pretty warm, very strange.
Oh,
yeah? Yeah, getting some, it's not hot, but it's for December, it's very mild, very mild.
Okay. Yeah. It's, I'm loving the weather anyways. I'm loving the weather. So we have I don't see anybody on screen. There's a few folks watching. I want to welcome you on the other end. We're here. I just got a reminder from Facebook. Again, we're broadcasting live via Facebook. I'm going to keep an eye on the comments as much as possible. I feel distracted, folks. I don't know about you on the other side, and we're going to talk about this a little bit. Hopefully we can help each other out here. That's what we're here. We're taking an hour. We're creating an environment. Kindergarten, if you will. So let's get creative and explore and talk about what maybe we don't talk about in front of others because we're afraid. They may not understand. Again, the people that are going to benefit from this type of environment are people that are willing to be present. If you're not willing to be present, then you're not going to benefit from anything, really. Well, you'll benefit from some things, but that's why I'm asking you to be here, bring a pen. Hi there, Kristen. I'm doing super fantastic, terrific, over the top. At least that's my goal. Anyway, Jim, I'm going to give you a little bit of a start there. There's some folks coming on. I see the numbers climbing. Come on now. This is an environment. Invite somebody, like and share, and do whatever. That's positive. Go ahead, Jim. Share your thoughts here, since we're just getting started.
Okay. So the key topic for today is focus, and I believe probably the
Or
most
distraction,
important
actually.
distractions. Okay, so
But
distractions that prevent us from staying
what?
focused.
Yeah.
Okay,
What's happening with all of that today? Yeah.
I think
So
there's two things that we need to kind of contrast. Um, what increases the amount of distractions in our life, right? And I want to go and think about these two things: comfort zone versus what you really want. Now, if you truly desire something, let's say getting out of your addiction, if you truly value that, you're going to do whatever it takes. You're going to read whatever you need to read, watch whatever you need to watch, you know, stop going to whatever site or whatever casino or whatever chemical that you used to go to. You're going to do whatever it takes. But that's fighting against the comfort zone. It's competing against the comfort zone. And I think that we can really kind of figure out, where our real values kind of lie when we see our actions. Are we falling to our distractions, those things that take us away from our focus, like the
yeah.
comfort zone? Or are we doing what we say we want to do? It's like, yeah, I want to get out of my addiction, right? I want to get out of my addiction.
Well, the
Yeah, you
problem
say
is too,
that.
the problem is we're too distracted, Jim. We say
Distracted, but
it.
why are we getting distracted? That's the question. Why are we getting distracted?
Yeah.
If
What's
you
going
know
on?
exactly what you want to do, if you have value in that, there shouldn't be any kind of distraction. There shouldn't be any kind of distraction, but something's pulling us away.
What is,
Something. Are we really telling us the truth to ourselves? This is what we really want. Do you really want to get out of your addiction? Or is it just something that you would wish to get out of, but you're just falling prey to the casinos again and again and again? Why
yeah.
is the casino distracting us from something? What are these addictions doing to us? They seem like a distraction right there, and I think it kind of identifies what the root problem is. There's a root problem.
Yeah. It's there is the root problem. That's the distractions distracting us from the root problem, and we need to recognize it. We're coming to the end of the year. Tristan, um, and then who else is on here? There's quite a few people are coming on. Blaze Journey. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. I'm focusing on the questions also here, so I'm paying attention. Again, this is, to some people that may come here, this is going to be boring conversation because they don't understand enviro. When you go to some place, I don't do this program too often because I want to do this once a week, maybe twice a week, but I'm going to keep it to once a week because once a week it makes more of an impact. When you come into a place and you're believing for prosperity, I'm not saying that we're going to come here and make magic. No, but we come here and become like children and create, and we walk out of here with something. You walk out of here. Jim just talked about the root. The problem is we're distracted. There's too many distractions, folks. And I have to look at my life. I'm going to look at mine, right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to encourage you to look at yours. But the fact is that what's happening with all of these? I'm reaching out to you, the audience here, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. What is going on? We want, what is the deal with the distraction? Uh, we're definitely not getting, well, we need to get distracted into the right stuff, right? We need to get distracted into the right stuff. Let me see who else. I'm here listening. Whoops, sorry about that. Go ahead, Jim. I'm here listening. I won't be able to comment much on the road.
Yeah, I think sometimes maybe we get distracted because
Yes,
um, there are so many kinds of goals maybe that we have, and it's very hard to focus on so many things. Oh, I need to read, I need a journal, I need to make sure I don't drive this way down the freeway, because if I do, I'm going to go and pass, let's say, a casino or a bar or something like that. Oh, I can't talk to this person, because they're going to go and trigger me. I think we might be overwhelmed perhaps with all the things that we have to deal with when we're struggling.
yeah.
Um,
But
so
see, the thing is,
perhaps,
you spoke about there's a lot of things that's we need to narrow it down, right? The distraction. Uh, for me, I guess you're becoming more sensitive to these things around you, and you realize that time is being poured into people or into an experience. Right? I enjoy pouring into people. I do believe in passing on an energy that would help you see beyond yourself. Right now you're probably focused on yourself, like I do too. I focus on. We need to go beyond. You need to see beyond. Well, Santos, I've been struggling with the. Well, you by now you ought to know it's not even the gamble, right? The gamble's just a big band aid. Where do they sell them at? Where do they sell those band aids at? I'm looking for questions. I'm focusing on the comments. I'm looking here. So please ask. Again, this is an environment for peace, to generate peace. You know, how could this environment, Jim, create prosperity if we're so distracted? We're coming here, right? We're not distracted, hopefully. Hopefully, I'm not being a distraction, but we're here to focus, right? We're talking about distractions. We can create prosperity. How do we create prosperity in here? We all need money, right? What's one way that we can create prosperity? Distraction is definitely in the way of your prosperity if you don't
yeah,
have, and I'm not talking about millions of dollars. I'm talking about progress, right? Progress, some result that you can tweak. Well, I'm getting this result, so I know what I'm doing. uh am I making any sense here? And I got a proverb I got to read. I got to get to the proverb here. Go ahead, Jim. I'm looking for
yeah.
questions.
I remember you brought up Stephen Covey. You know, was it Seven Habits of Highly Successful People? Um, he said, "Keep the main thing the main thing." Okay, so if you keep the main thing the main thing, okay, so for this channel, people want to conquer gambling. Okay,
Yeah,
stop problem gambling. Okay, that's the main thing. Perhaps we need to take a look at the main thing and structure all our thoughts and our minds, our actions, activities, and our planning all around on that particular goal. When you wake up in the morning, what are you going to go and say to yourself? You know, when you when you make any kind of decision, you always kind of relate it. Perhaps, is this contributing to my fight against my addiction? Is this a positive thing against my addiction? It gives you a little bit of space to kind of think, you know, are my actions, are my thoughts moving me in the right direction for this particular goal? So I don't think it's a bad thing to kind of be obsessed over that important goal, like overcoming your addiction, this problem gambling, this problem, that whatever problem that you have, make that the main thing, and try to, because that's the biggest problem in your life right now. That's the biggest problem in your life. It could tie into some other things, but right now that needs to go ahead and be dealt with. That needs to be dealt with. So
yeah,
every action that you take, every thought that you take, relate it to my goal of conquering this addiction. You know, ask yourself constantly, is this moving me towards beating this thing, or is it just dragging me back into the pit? You know, and really kind of think about your actions, really kind of think about your thoughts, how that relates to your number one goal of beating this addiction. Think about going to work. Think about the conversations you're having with the people. How is
Not
that
just
relating to you
not just
going to,
beating the addiction, not just beating it, not just beating it, like you said, Jim. We want to take that thing to another level. Uh, Eliminate it altogether, right? What is your life like without no more gambling? What is your life like when you're not so distracted? What is your life like? That's This is something that I've been really thinking about lately more and more. I see these comments. I feel, I read these comments in the videos here at the YouTube channel, and some people are so distracted that they don't even realize I'm responding to their comments. And I say, wow, this thing's real, man. This distraction thing is freaking real. It's got people blinded. It's got people. Uh, we're always thinking, especially when it comes to recovery. Oh, we got to. It's a lot. No, it's not a lot of things. Hey, if somebody can stumble into an environment like this once or twice or three times a month, somebody can stumble into an environment like this with a desire for change. I believe that it won't be long before that person begins to put POI on a piece of paper and follow it, because that person's present. And see, one of the main things why distraction is so horrible is because you're not present. And that ought to tell you something. If you don't feel like you're present, you're distracted. Especially, you know what? I would ask the question, what's the purpose of spending 45 minutes here? I don't say that in a mean way. I say it in a good way. What is the purpose? What is the purpose for me coming here for 45 minutes? By the way, thank you, Bill. Uh, but what is the purpose, right, of coming in? I'm gonna drill this. This is an environment where I'm believing, just like a child, for peace, for P.N.G.Z, permanent no gambling zone. Whatever your gamble is, it may be. It doesn't have to be in a casino. It doesn't have to be on the roulette ticket. Uh,
can I give you a rhyme, Santos? May I give you a rhyme?
yeah, yeah. This is an
It
environment for focus, prosperity, permanent no gambling zone, and healing. That's what we need to be reminded of. These are the things that we need in our lives. And again, I'm hoping that I could be a good distraction for many of you tonight, including myself, because there's a lot of work to do going forward. There's a lot of work to do. Go ahead, Jim.
yeah, is a distraction a procrastination? I mean, what's happening when we are falling into the mode of being distracted? It's almost like we're trying to avoid something. Maybe something that's tough to do, maybe something tough in our lives to face. We
Mhm.
are intentionally, maybe subconsciously, intentionally setting ourselves up for distraction because we don't want to face our real problems. Maybe we don't
Yeah.
want to really deal with
Well,
ourselves.
that is the reality of what's really going on.
And yeah, procrastination, it's like
We,
it's uh it's easier to go to a goal setting workshop than to actually create and follow through on your goals. I kind of find
yeah,
that it's easier to read a book than to actually go out and do the work, and it's like, but I feel like I'm doing something. I feel like I'm doing something. But in fact, you're not doing anything. You're just procrastinating. Sometimes our mind is very tricky. It's a tricky thing. It likes to kind of rationalize our actions. Say, oh, no, no, you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. But in fact, you're not really doing the right thing, you know?
yeah, you're
And
distracted. You're, you
yeah,
know, we have learned many tricks. This might be a surprise to all of you. We have learned many tricks, right? Isn't that something? What do you mean, Santos? We have learned many. You have learned many tricks. Think about your life. I don't have to tell you what your tricks are, but you know what they are. So now you need to learn more tricks, but you need to learn the better tricks. Does that make sense? What are these tricks? You know what they are. We know what we do to survive and to do what we do throughout the day, and either to keep especially if you got a gamble that has you, you know, is pulling your toenails out and then pulling every other uh, nail in your foot piece by piece. If that's what you've got going on, that's your gamble, and you're feeling the pain of. Imagine having your your toenail pulled out with a pair of pliers. You have to get rid of that thing. I think it hurts. I believe it hurts to get a toenail pulled out. Just like the gamble. That's really just. It's like pulling it's like a plier. It's pulling your. Maybe you've got three nails left. You want to hold on to those because you know that you lose all your toenails. That could be a problem for your feet. You get damaged. You don't have that protection. I don't know. Maybe you're on your third toenail and you found yourself here. So I'm glad you're here. Again, this is a place for healing, for prosperity, for focus, right? For focus and P.N.G.Z, permanent no gambling.
Santos, I think about distraction. I think about, I said there about the comfort zone. I think about having to go exercise or having to, get up out of bed. And, when you're trying to be focused on what you need to do that's good for you, it takes a
Yeah,
lot of energy. I think it takes courage too. I think it takes the
yeah.
discipline, to face, the
It takes
pain.
being present. It takes being present, Jim.
Yeah.
Doesn't it not? Like for here, if you're here and you're just being entertained, you're not present. You're being entertained, but you're not fully present. If you're present, you're listening to uh, this urgency that we all have. Because again, um, I know we're all going to die. We're all going to die. We're all going to leave this planet, and we may leave something behind. We may not leave something behind. You have to question. What is it that are you just going to exist here? And I mean, is it important to really leave something behind? You may be forgotten in some time, but how is your quality of living right now? I have listen. I don't have to. I'm sitting here broadcasting via Facebook, and we're getting ready to do our 30-minute interlude. Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If I sat here and tried to be perfect in front of you guys wouldn't believe what I'm saying. And some of you guys have a hard time. Some people that come here have a hard time believing because you're distracted. If I have a hard time believing, it's because I'm distracted. I wrote on the whiteboard behind me that a little bit of belief, just a tiny bit of belief, can carry you a long way. And that's what we're trying to create in this broadcast right here. Let me read the verse, Jim, and then I'm trying to get some. I know those of you I don't know, either you guys are just mesmerized or you're not paying attention. I'm looking for some questions. Please chime in, jump in here. You guys got thoughts, you have emotion, you've got blood pumping through you. You know what? Participate here. Let's play the game, and we walk away with something tonight. We walk away with something, not just a little bit of a hoorah like we're in the military. Let me get the I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the my proverb here. Oh jeez. Okay. All right, I'll do the 20. It'll be Matthew 120 here. But while he thought on these things, the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a dream, saying, Joseph, thou son of David, fear not to take unto thee Mary thy wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Ghost. I believe the real reason for the season is Jesus Christ. That's my religion, my philosophy. I don't expect anybody else to believe that unless you dig into the Bible and find it yourself. Again, I have to have anchors in my life. I know if I don't have anchors in my life, I would have fell back in the problem gambling or other things worse for sure, for sure. I'm being real with you. So, but now that I'm out of gambling for several years, I'm telling you, life is dynamic. Um, you have to break. You have to be willing to get into your mind and creativity and explore, or else you're just going to keep losing more money, more time, more of your confidence. You may lose your job or your business. I've seen it happen. Relationships, and in some cases, people lose their minds, which is really horrible, right? If you lose your mind, I mean, they'll put you in the insane asylum and they'll feed you pills, and you may not get out of there. I'm sure there's people, imagine that. There's people that are trapped in these places. They're trapped in there. They're in there. Somehow they got in there and they're on drugs and they probably know that, but they can't no longer express themselves because they're in that environment that creates that type of, people on pills, and they're being controlled and all of this stuff. It's some people need it. Man, I don't know. God help me. God have mercy on me. I think, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a renegade or whatever, but it feels good to be free. So, by the way, thank you for your the donation there. I appreciate the donations. And by the way, we've come to the 30-minute interlude here. Then I'm going to have Jim share again. Again, please ask your question. I'm looking for your question. I'm looking for what's going on in your life. I'm interested in your life. Maybe nobody else is interested, right, in your life, and or maybe this is not private enough. Well, there's ways to communicate, in a more private. But um, oh, what was it? See, I just got this. Um, what was I gonna say? Okay, never mind. Go ahead, Chef. We got the proverb out. I'm looking
I
at
have a
some of
I have a question. And
Yeah,
it
go
kind
ahead.
of ties into you know, distraction and focus. I think a key player, I think, in our ability to focus or
Okay.
get distracted is this: how do we develop our courage? How do we develop our courage? Because I think it takes a courage to face yourself, your problems, and take
Mm,
action and stay focused on uh, you improving yourself. I think we get distracted just because we kind of cower away to the comfort zone. We don't want to go and face it. And when we see that we have to do certain things, you know, I think a lot of us we get afraid. We get kind of scared. We get kind of weak. We get kind of hesitant. It's like, no, no, I don't think I want to do that. No, that's kind of painful. I don't want to go ahead and face this. I don't want to go and deal with that. So yeah, I think how do you develop your courage to face it? Because I think that's a good way of being distracted. If you don't have that kind of discipline to deal with these problems that are kind of uncertain in our lives, right? When we have these problems, it's like they're there for a reason, because we kind of haven't had a or found a solution to this stuff. And when we're kind of looking at it, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. And when you say I don't know, it's like, well,
Short circuit.
there's like there's doubt, right?
Yep,
There's
short
like
circuit. The
doesn't
moment you
feel
say I
good.
don't know.
It doesn't feel good, Santos. So when it doesn't
Yeah.
feel good, you can go ahead and fight against it, right? That's the courage I'm talking about. Or you can fly away to the distractions, right?
Hmm.
The distraction just pull you to that comfort zone, of not having to deal with it. So how do we develop that courage? How do we develop courage in our life to face these issues? So we can stay focused on the important stuff.
Well, let me here's where I forgot to do my 30-minute interlude. But to answer your question, Jim, I believe that this environment begins to create what you're speaking about. right here, just right here, being here. Uh, I understand the power of video. I understand I call it video therapy, VT. Maybe I'm the only one. But when you witness change, even through video and or digital, right, live video or through digital, when you experience those changes, you can talk about them because you understand they're real. A person, you can literally just change your life, literally change your life, physically, literally change your life by recording videos of yourself, by recording videos, whether you're talking to yourself into a video or whether you're doing something that you have a video in the background and it's basically capturing what you're doing for an hour, for 2 hours, for 3 hours. When you are willing to do that and look at those videos and look at yourself, face yourself, get in there, face yourself. By the way, shout out to Helen on LinkedIn. Thank you. I'm not sure if you joined us because I know you can't comment, but I see it. It was a post on LinkedIn. So thank you, Helen, if you're watching. Hopefully, we're making sense to you here. I'm getting distracted here myself every time, but again, I got to do my 30-minute interlude. But I believe that this is a great environment. I call it an environment, and we have to create it. So to answer that question that you were speaking, we're building it, building the confidence. And again, we have to be careful when we come here because we can get distracted. We have to really focus in. What is the message here? What is the environment? What is the energy? What am I supposed to get out of this today? Distractions. Think about that word, please. Distractions. Right? That's what we really want to focus on. Not the distraction, but what comes to mind. What begins to happen when you think about your life? What is distracting me? What is distracting you? Uh, so if you listen, folks, if you feel supported here, I thank you for uh, being a part of this. I truly do. If you feel supported, if you really feel supported, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to everything we have available at Soldiers of Self Mastery, this environment, permanent no gambling zone, the SciTech, stay in touch, email communication, that's SciTech. We've got tools, we've got books, we've got GABA. We're improving on GABA, the Gambling Addictions Breakthrough Advance. Imagine being able to sit on your phone and watch videos that are going to carefully guide you to think. GABA, Gambling Addictions Breakthrough Advance. I say this again, Gambling Addictions Breakthrough Advance. You're going to find some videos in there that are very focused. I haven't really shared those videos in the open because they're part of a special group of videos that are those videos are meant to inspire and motivate and cause to take action. That's what those videos are for, to take action, right? You watch the video once, twice, three, you take action, you take notes. You may have answer some questions. I think there's a PDF download. I'm not sure for completely. There's a couple of bonuses in there. There for less than $100, you can get a nice package that will help you get a start. That's GABA. It's soldiersofselfmastery.com. So we're here again, and I really do thank you for donating. Again, if you feel supported, if you feel like I'm supporting you, I'm supporting others, I need to feel supported also. That is the reality of what's going on here. So we work together as a community, and whatever you can do, small or big. Hey, maybe you can send $5. You can do $5, or you can buy a book. I just had a young lady purchase the red book, and I'm going to send. I just got the package today. I'm going to send her a book. I want to send her a little special message inside. I really feel a strong energy for this woman, and I hope that she's got. There's a lot there. So I've got the package. I've got some books. So they make a great gift. You might know somebody that you can send the book to. Again, this isn't just about gambling, folks. It's not. Gambling is just it's the crust, above the burnt pie or something. It's what's inside that's important. So please, again, support the mission. I could always use support in that way, and we'll continue to distract the distraction. All right, questions, questions. Go ahead, Jim. You had a thought. You have some thoughts. I know time is going by very quickly here. We've got another 15, 20 minutes, folks. Um, Barry, what happened to Academy? Well, it is the Academy. It is the Academy. It's called the GABA, GABA, Gambling Addictions Breakthrough Academy. I call it Advance. I'd rather call it Advance because when you get in there, you will advance when you're present. Only when you're present. You will not advance if you're not present. Same thing here, right? Um, if I go to a movie, and how am I going to enjoy the movie? You got to be there. You got to be present, right? You got to be there. That's the only way. And again, if you're not, then you're distracted. That's why we're bringing up this topic today of distraction. You, we're all, we, again, you may need some support. You may need some guidance, right? Be upfront with yourself about it. Um, because, again, only you know where you're going. You got to have an idea. I mean, there's still going to be distractions. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, like you brought up the point, uh, the distraction of the distractions. It's like, let self mastery be the uh, ultimate distraction to our addictions, right? I mean, that's to really turning the tables right there.
Yeah.
Because instead of being distracted, by the bad stuff, let's go and turn the tables and and get distracted by improving ourselves, right? Focus on
Yeah.
ourselves and
Yeah. Looking
imagine the
inwardly.
kinds of rewards that we can get from from focusing on ourselves. I remember a PBS show a long time ago, and they always came up with at the beginning there was some music. It was about civil rights during the 60s, I think, and the song went, "If there's one thing we did right, was the day we started the fight. Keep your eyes on the prize." What is the prize in our life right now? You know, we need to keep our eyes on the prize. What is that purpose? What's our goal? What do we want to do? And I think if we can do focus on that and
When?
just remind
When?
ourselves,
Not
yes,
if. When? When we
when
focus. Yeah.
when
It's
we
not a matter of,
focus, yeah,
yeah, because we can do it. It's just a matter of when we do it. We say if a
if we
lot, and
can.
I catch myself, Jim. If I have to distract that because it's not if, it's when. It really is when. When we get ourselves in that frame of mind, see, again, the distraction is so heavy upon us that it trips us how we speak to ourselves. So we trip up ourselves over we've heard this before. I like to say it this way: if you're going to beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself down, right? We're already down. You don't need to beat yourself. Beat yourself up. How do you do that? You can come into an environment like this, right? You can create your journal. You can write a simple book of 15 pages. You can, you know, many things. I'm getting distracted here a little bit too much.
Do you remember?
So
Do you remember?
I'm doing, but again, we distract the distraction. We come into an environment. You have to find one thing, maybe two things, right? Again, it's distracting the distractions. Right here's a good place, right? We're creating an enviro. I call this an environment. We distract distractions here because we're helping you focus on the real thing, the root. I tell people now, I didn't say this before because I didn't realize it in my own life. How did I overcome gambling? I've been struggling with that for a while. How did I do? Was it the journaling? Was it the affirmations? Was it the prayer? Was it, man, I tell you, I journaled, man. I would journal for hours and hours and hours. I would go to the beach. I would go to a park when it was raining. I would spend time in my car. I would write. And everything that I was writing was futuristic. It was future. It wasn't not everything. I did talk about the present and some past, but I remember writing. It's what I wanted. It's what I wanted to. I wanted to shift my mind. I wanted to bend reality, if you will. So I didn't have it. So I heard it from somebody. Hey, if you do enough journaling, it'll bend your reality. I'm gonna put this to the test. So I don't know if it was, what caused me to change. Now I realize now all of these life hacks work together for me to realize that I hit the root of the problem. I wasn't aware that I was hitting the root. Now it's becoming more, wow, this is what's causing me to do this crap. And now I see it. It's easy to defeat it if you see it, you know what it is, and you can smell it coming. You can smell it coming. Of course you can. It gets to that point where and because you know yourself, what's good for you, what's not good for you, and we grow from there. We grow from there. We don't go from there. We grow from there. All right, I'm about out of words here because I can get into preaching but the reality is that you have to get distracted into the right stuff.
Santos.
You have to
I
distract the distraction, um, and create an environment or join one. Either you're creating or joining one. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I was thinking about how do we, how do we stop or limit these distractions? I was thinking about the word immersion. If you're going to learn another language, right? You know, you get put in a place where they only speak that language you're trying to learn, right? Immersion.
Yeah.
So if we're going to be focused on, learning this new language of self mastery, beating the addiction, all right, we need to immerse ourselves in programs like this, videos, right, strategies, people, good people, who are like-minded, so that constantly, what's the focus? What's the focus? What's the focus? The focus is on beating the addiction, destroying the addiction, overcoming, transcending that addiction. So yeah, that I think that's probably a good strategy in in getting focused and fighting off those distractions. You just constantly you say it, watch the videos 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, see nothing but
One
those
video.
videos. Yeah,
Get
one of the
one
videos
video
over and over
instead
again.
of two, or three. We might have 5 videos. So I'm watching all your videos. I see read comments. I watch all your videos, but then I look at the comments that are being stated. If you're watching my videos, you're not present, buddy. You're not. And I'm not there to judge anybody. I'm not. Believe me, I'm not. Because sometimes I wish I can just pass on my creativity and my belief to you right there over the airwaves, so you can just click it. One episode, and you can go on your way, and you can change something. That's my hope. I believe that. Has it happened yet? Trying. By the way, shout out to Helen. Thank you for your question. Helen, I'm not sure if I understand what your question is via LinkedIn. Um, I hope and pray that you're getting something because you're here for a reason. I believe you're here for a reason. And I want to thank you for being here. Appreciate that. I haven't gotten any interaction from LinkedIn for a while, so I really appreciate that. And of course, I appreciate the audience, those of you that are here, that are present. You're not distracted. We're coming close to the end of the hour here. So, Jim, looking at all of these things that we're talking about, one easy thing for most of us, we can come to a program like this for 45 minutes and get our bearing, right? By asking questions. A little belief goes a long way. And it is such uh, a breakthrough when you ask the right questions. Most of the time, we're asking the wrong questions. We are. And we got to get better at that. When you ask yourself the right question and you're serious about it, it's amazing. The results that you'll end up with. Yeah. Once again, I want to remind you here, this is an environment for healing, right? We've been through trauma, we've been through darkness, we've been through sin. I still consider myself a sinner. This is a place of permanent no gambling zone, a place of focus, and a place of prosperity, right? Prosperity can be health. Health is wealth. The prosperity doesn't have to be money. No, prosperity can be that you get to walk for the next month because you haven't done it. Now you're prospering in that area in your life. You're walking every day for 5 to 10 minutes. That's a form of prosperity. We just think money. We're again, see, we're so distracted and we're brainwashed into thinking all kinds of different things that you don't think or you don't practice how to think, if that makes sense. Right? Everybody's thinking, but we don't practice how to think. And that's what's going to help us, Jim. Right? That's what's going to help us build confidence. That's what's going to help us stay present. And should we be present in every experience of our lives? Should we be present? Maybe there's times that we're not present. When you go to bed, well, you're still present, but you're not present, right? Anyways, I told a friend of mine that I dreamed about not having a dream last night. It's supposed to be a joke. Go ahead. We're coming down to the wire here, friends. I want to thank you guys.
Yeah.
My what's that? Let me see. Oh, I was on the West Coast for a month. Now I am back in Kansas. Well, I'm not sure if you want me to reach out to you. I can do that sometime. We can do that. I really appreciate the interaction. Hopefully, I'm supporting you in some way. Let me know. We can connect and brainstorm. Make something great happen, even right there in LinkedIn. All right, we're coming down. Jim, am I answering your questions? Are we are we spinning wheels or are we going forward? By the way, Dr. Gabor, great trauma, a doctor on trauma healing, Dr. Gabor, gay, or Gabore. Okay, Dr. Gabor. Yeah, the top, Gabor, there. All right, this has been episode number 332. Uh, and by the way, the 7 day challenge, if you met the 7 day challenge, I wanted to say this. I know somebody said it earlier. Who was it? I'm not sure who it was. Shout out to you, man. We're together because I've done it. Now it's another 7 days. Another 7 days. And yes, 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 you can do it. You can do it. Um, all right, we're coming down. Jim, what do you got, man? All right, we got one more question, I think, and then we're going to be ending. You guys are good. Wish you both a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Maybe I'll sing a Christmas song. Hey, what do you think, Jim? You'll sing with me? No, I don't know. YouTube frowns every time that I do a karaoke, but I'm sure maybe there's a Christmas song. Maybe next Sunday. Is it? Next Sunday might be Christmas, huh? Yeah, maybe next Sunday. All right. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the support, folks. I appreciate the support. Go ahead, Jim. We've
Yeah.
got the action coming up here.
Hey, you talked about the breakthrough that you can get when you ask yourself the right questions. It kind of reminded me of something that I wrote down this week. You know, it was three things. I wrote down: get real, get goals, and get going. Get real, get goals, and get going. What do I mean by get real? Get real with yourself. It's like, you know, my life is screwed up. There are problems in my life, and I'm gonna go and list them. I cannot deny, that there's some things that are not acceptable. There's things that are in my life that are not acceptable. Let me
Mm-hmm.
go and write them out. It's time to start addressing all these issues. I can't run away from these problems because they're screwing up my life. I've got to get real. Get goals, right? Okay, so let's start forming a plan. I don't want to be like this anymore. I don't want to do these things. I don't want to think these things. I don't want to be distracted by these things. What am I going to do? Right? And then get going, right? Start taking action, right? Start taking action, right? And just keep on focusing on the main thing, right? The main thing is mastery. That's the title of your program, Soldiers of Self
Mhm.
Mastery. Because if anything you want to go and get focused on is mastering yourself. Because when you master yourself, there's no room for addictions. No room for addictions. There's no reason, no need for that stuff.
You begin to distract them. And some things may take a little bit of time. It's okay. It's okay as long as you're getting the results that you can work with, right? Again, if you're going to beat yourself up. Pick yourself up, encourage yourself. Use a good word. Maybe all you can do is say one word to yourself in the morning. I love you. Or well, that's not one word, but one comment, one statement, one power phrase. Hey Santos, I love you, man. I love you too. So you get in become like a kid with yourself. Because that's the thing, and I'll tell you, when you become really inside, you become creative, and people are going to try to put your light out. People are going to come along and they're going to try to put your light out. So be prepared for those kinds of things. Just like the other kids when we were small. We remember those kids. There were some mean kids. I remember one time I think it was, I don't know if it was third grade or fourth grade. But then again, I had problems too. I ended up getting, is it this side? One of these sides. I don't know how young I was, but I do know that I was pushed against the corner of a table, the corner, and it carved, almost took my eye out, and there was a lot of blood gushing out. I have the somewhere, and I remember the teacher. He grabbed me so fast, and I don't know where he got that white towel. He had a white towel. He wrapped that thing around my head, and he rushed me to the hospital. The teacher did, and they sewed me up. And I'll never forget the guy's name that I argued or was fussing with. I don't know what it was. Did I do wrong or did he? Edwin Luna. Never forget that kid's name. And we, yeah. So, anyways, what was that all about? Self regulation. Okay, we're running out of time here. We are running out of time. Um,
Yes,
yeah.
it's important. I mean, like you can't. You gotta find creative ways of solving your problem. You got to find creative ways of solving your problem. You got to think outside the box because, addiction is certainly not the way to get out of your problems. You got to find something else, right? It
Yeah.
may seem kooky, it may seem, different, seems a little bit crazy, but it has to be impactful in your life. Something to wake yourself up out of the trance that we're in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's it. You said a magic word, trance. And we either, like I said earlier, and unfortunately, it's just the way we are. We do get distracted. But a kind word to yourself early in the morning, if that's what it takes to get you going, to start motivating you, that's a start. Do it. Do it. So, again, I want to thank all of you here. We have a 7 day challenge. Right? Those of you that are on the 7 day challenge, I encourage you to take the challenge, and let's go into the year 2024. If you don't want to gamble, right? If you don't want to gamble, right? When you decide the 7 day challenge, it's good. You're not alone. I'm doing it. Jim is doing it. He's not gambling for 7 days, so you better not. Then the next week he'll come around and he'll share. So
I have a
uh,
joke. I gotta have a joke, Santos. Okay.
go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
Yeah. What what did the mother say? The mother said, to her procrastinating son, "When are you going to ever clean up your room?" The son says, "Just you wait, Mom. Just you wait." Now, let's try not to be like that son where we're going to go ahead and wait, wait, wait in order for us to go ahead and start fixing our problems. So, yeah. When is the time to start, Santos? Right now. Right?
It's time,
Right
like
now.
you said, Jim. It's time. It's time, folks, and it's almost time for us to land this airliner. I like airplanes. I like to sit in the cockpit, and of course, I don't get to do that, but I can do it virtually and see everything that's going on, and then just land the plane. We are distracted, folks. That's the reality. We are distracted. You are distracted to the degree that you decide you don't want to be distracted anymore. We have to learn to be present. Be present. That's the only way we're going to grow, or we're just going to go. You have a choice. You're going to go or you're going to grow. Am I present or, present? That's a good word too, right? Present, like a gift. Am I going to be a gift or am I going to just be a taker? Am I going to be a gift or can I be a gift and a taker? I believe there's a balance there, right? Uh, So again, 7 day challenge is on. I'm going to encourage you here. We're going to read out of the Little Red Book. Just a little second, so stay with me. We're almost done. We'll give like to give all of you guys a little shout out. So this is page number 56 for those of you that have the books. By the way, I think this might be the old version. I have a new version. It's updated a little bit, so it's a little different. The newer version, it is a little different. Number 9, we've been reading a little bit out of this at the call to action at the end. Incorporate regular exercise into your routine. Exercise releases endorphins, providing a much needed boost. Remember to incorporate deep breathing into your day once or twice a day. It's not that difficult, folks. It's fun. I'm telling you, it's fun. Just stop and, especially when you're angry, stop and breathe deeply. And then breathe deeply when you're happy. It's just a good thing to get into. You'll feel it. While I'm not an expert on deep breathing techniques, I've experienced its positive effects firsthand. It's a simple yet powerful life hack that increases oxygen flow to the brain and your lungs. I didn't put it in here, but I should have added it. Leaving you feeling fantastic. Now, research the benefits of deep breathing for yourself. Practice deep breathing. Inhale deeply and hold the air for a few seconds or longer if you prefer. Then exhale. As you inhale, slowly focus on positive thoughts and envision good things entering your being. As you exhale, let go of negativity, bad experiences, bitterness, and unforgiveness. Deep breathing offers numerous benefits and healing effects, contributing to overall well being. I highly recommend looking into it and conducting additional research on deep breathing. The research may not be free, but deep breathing is the exercise. And again, it's just being present, right? You're driving down the road and you just feel like deep breathe. Breathe 3 times. Take it in, hold it, let it out. Think about good things coming in and think about the bad things coming out. Amazing what we can do for ourselves if we just practice. Jim, you said immerse earlier in the broadcast. Immerse, like swimming, jump in the ocean. Remember when we used to go swimming? I'm not going there. We dip our toe in there, be scared of the water. Somebody would come along pushing, push you in the pool. Now you're in there, boy. Oh, come
Immersed.
on, everybody else get in there. But that's typically what happens, right? Yeah, unless you're one of these Hoff technique people with the, I think he does Hoff. I think Hoff does David. Is it David Hoff? He does the uh, Winfrey Hoff. Is it? I'm not too sure. He does those cold baths where you don't have to push him. There's many that are doing it. They just jump into this ice bucket and they lay there and they go in there for. Nobody's pushing those folks. So I tell you, that is a freaking mindset right there, where you can jump into a bucket of ice. Literally, man, That's incredible. But again, see, when you look at stuff like that, you say, "Wow, he can do it. He can do it. You can do it too if when you decide." But is it necessary for you to do it? You don't need to do it. You don't need to do it, right? They're doing it for their purpose. Why are they doing it? Maybe we should ask them. We'll invite somebody that does the freeze baths. No, I'm just joking. All right. I'm done, folks. We're going to be back here 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to reach out to you, Helen. I'm going to do my best. I'm here in California. Hopefully, you're here in the States. I'll do my best to reach out to you. Thank you. Shout out to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Keith, thank you for being here. A little bit late, I think. A little bit late. I don't want to. Again, I apologize. I'm not trying to point anybody, but if we're going to be here, I know sometimes things get in the way. But if you can, or when, be here for an hour, you'll get out of it, I'm sure. I know it's torture a little bit, but hey, right? Growing pains. You got hurt a little bit. Like put skin in the game in order to get ahead. So Keith, thank you for hanging out. Appreciate that here. Out of time, Laura. Thank you, Laura, for being with us. And safe driving as always out there on the roads. Tristan, thank you for your comments. I might have a beer once in a while. I don't really like getting drunk. I get good enough buzz off a beer, and that's about enough for me for once a month or whatever beer. But I just don't like alcohol too much. It makes me dizzy a little bit. So, but thank you for the eggnog. We'll definitely do that. And Laura Barry, thank you for hanging out, Barry. K6, thank you. Let me see who else. Bill, Barry Bob. Did I get Barry Bob? I think I did. Laura John Smith. They invited him. There's been quite a few. Bill. Yeah, I got Bill. Thank you, Bill. John Smith, Bill Devine, Jesse. Jesse's community member there. Blaze Journey. Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. And again, Facebook. We've had quite a number of people tonight here on this broadcast. So Facebook, thank you. YouTube, StreamYard, thank you. I know we got and folks, again, it's, I know somebody said, all I can tell you is that it takes money to run this mission. And, I do my best to reach out to people. I do offer coaching for those that qualify. And I've made it so convenient to be able to sit and coach if that's what you needed. I won't do one session or two sessions. I'll do a consultation, possibly free. But when it comes to coaching, I'm going to require at least 8 sessions minimum. That's where you get your breakthrough. You start feeling the first one, the second one, third one. You want to stay up here, right? When we're not coaching anymore, personally, you want to stay. You want to maintain that performance, like Anthony Robbins says, right? Peak performance. You want to maintain. May dip a little bit, but you got to get back. So thank you all. Again, next Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here, California. Yeah, it's going to be a great night. Healing, prosperity, P.N.G.Z. Go ahead, Jim. We'll close out the show here. We'll close it up.
Just keep your eyes on the prize, right? Keep your eyes on the prize. All about staying focused. Focus on the next best thing. Most important thing is the next thing that you're going to be doing. So just make a wise choice. Make a wise choice on what you're going to be doing next.
Definitely. Definitely here. So with that said, I'm going to try something very quickly here. Let me see, make sure I don't get off. And I do want to thank all of you guys. Again, Soldiers of Self-Mastery, Heroes. We're going to close off with just a little bit of sound tonight. I got to get this. I know I got to get this thing going in the proper direction, in the right way. And I will do that. It's just, there's a lot of stuff when it comes to the podcast and being focused. So let me see here. Heroes tonight. Yeah. Heroes. We are heroes tonight. We would fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. All right. I'm going to see you guys next week. Hey, thank you all for being with us. And that's it. All right, Jim. Shout out to Tucson. Stay safe out there. And we'll see you this week with the bots. We're working with the bots again.
All right, there, Santos. You have a great week. Have a good evening.
Thank you, guys.
See
You
you
do too.
next Sunday.
And
Bye bye.
we'll be in touch.